Nazdar.
To je meeting room 20?
Je to tak.
Jak je nás málo?
Okay. Ještě Tomáš Mesek, jo.
Co?
Čau. Tak možná test zvuku, jestli slyší Smečky Krakovská. Can you hear us? Okay. So 3 more minutes for others. Meanwhile, I will can you also see the screen? Ježka Mikloš is writing. Okay, cool. Yes. As usual when you enable streaming. Okay, so people in Romania and others are ready, so maybe you should start. So hi, my name is Jan Černý. I think you already know me. I'm involved in many stuff going here in CN, but other than the others, I'm also a big Agile enthusiast. And actually, I wanted to share with you some presentation which I would like to share on Drupal Business Days, which is considering Agile and maybe some tips and tricks which to provide to our potential customers, because what you all developers are struggling with. So I would like to teach our customers how to do things a little bit differently. I think that Agile is a very difficult topic to present because for many of you and many of even customers, people think that Agile is easy topic. You know, Agile methodologies are just a set of simple rules and everybody can understand it. However, I also think that usual Agile presentations are only some theoretical presentations full of buzzword and nothing which you can get from it. So really, to make a presentation with some practical examples is, I think, pretty complicated thing to do. The reason for this talk is basically that I saw many people. I have my screen frozen. So many people, many customers, many projects are still struggling with adopting Agile methodologies. Based on the latest survey from version 1, which is doing Agile survey every year, approximately 60% of projects are still maturing the techniques of Agile different methodologies, such as Scrum, Kanban, and the others. And 16 others more are still experimenting with it. So it means that if you count these two numbers together, you have got approximately 80% of our potential projects, any of your projects, which are still having either product owners or some of the decision. So it means that if you count these two numbers together, you have got approximately 80% of. Okay, this is Martin Dubiash. Okay. Sorry, there was some echo here. So you have got approximately, or every 4 out of 5 projects are somehow struggling with adopting the methodology. So I just wanted to give you the reasoning why I still believe that this talk is important. So I was asking myself how to just do this presentation in some practical way. And when you don't know the answer, you should ask God. So I came up with an idea of doing 10 commandments, like 10 laws by the God, which you should follow if you will do the if you should do the agile right. So first commandment: you shall not steal time from kickoff meetings. I believe that kickoff meeting is something which is a success driver of a project. I think that many customers think that, or even many people think that if you are doing things agile, you should not do many analysis. You should start the project as soon as possible with minimum requirements. Even if you have minimum requirements, like one page, I don't know, and many of you saw a project and you got one A4 of description of a project. How can you commit to a project and maybe even do estimates if you have got one A4 page? So I think that this is the reason why kickoff meeting is a success driver, because this is exactly the place where all the requirements should be somehow discussed, and you should, by doing some good practice within the kickoff meeting, mitigate the risk of misunderstandings. Such a kickoff agenda could look like that not only the backlog will be refined, I mean generally the functionality, but you should focus on some out of scope. What is not the scope of this project? What will be scope of a different milestone? What prerequisites has every backlog item has? For instance, if you are doing I don't know, login, the prerequisite is that you should do a registration. What are the non-functional requirements? Are there some, I don't know, performance which we want to have? And I mean, all of this is very, I think, understandable to all of you. But if this is not set on the kickoff meeting, then at the end you will do an application, and just customer will say, "Hey, but this is much more slower than the old application." And he will say, "Of course, but nobody told us." So that's the reason why it should be set there. Another practical example what you can take is to do the user stories based on some good tips, which is the invest rule. And it says that every story should be independent on each other, negotiable. I mean that should there be some space of the development team how to be creative and do the thing as valuable as possible. The story should be valuable itself. Essential means to cover some MVP, and small enough, which I will be discussing more, and testable, of course. Another practical example would be, now my presenter has stopped working. Okay, focus planning. I mean, doing some a rough estimation, and I will be touching this topic in the next time, in the next slide, so I will cover it more. Definition of done. I don't know if you know what definition of done means. It's basically what you and the customer thinks done means. So is it like only coded, or are there some unit tests? How much unit test coverage is necessary? Are there some acceptance testing by somebody from customer side, or are there some end-to-end automated testing? All of this should be discussed on the meeting. Otherwise, again, at the end, there will be big dissatisfaction. Potential projects, any of your projects which are still having either product owners or separate decision. Okay. I don't know. Cože? Sorry, there was some code. So you have approximately 4 out of 5 projects are somehow struggling with adopting the methodology. Okay. Sorry, again, some technical issues from my laptop, who is not here. Okay. Second commandment. So you shall not murder. This presentation is a practical way. Okay. Second commandment. You shall not murder poker planning. You know what poker planning is? It's just some team-based estimation. And I'm just saying that, okay, most of the customers are focusing to get the numbers, but the numbers are not the only thing. Do you know what is the essential goal of poker planning as itself, of a team estimation?
Understand the user story.
Exactly. Much more than getting high-level estimates, much more than even understanding the story. And how much you will get depends how much you murder the session. So some examples, how can you murder the session? So if you, for instance, do a team estimation, all of us are here, and we will be discussing the story, and then there will become the time to say the number. Then let's say you will not do it secretly. You will just shoot the numbers. First one who will say something will be Tomáš, our senior. He will say 8. You know, Vera was just about to say 5, but she will not say it because Tomáš, our senior, said 8. And also there was Zdeněk, and Zdeněk was going to say 13 for sure, that's not going to be less. But he will not say anything again because Tomáš said 8. You know who is Tomáš? Tomáš is a hippo. Do you know what hippo means? He's the highest paid person opinion. He's the highest paid person opinion. And you know that the highest paid person opinion wins, of course. So that's one. And of course, if you will not do this, you will lose the potential good discussion, which will lead to first that Vera will understand much better why it is not 5, and as well maybe Tomáš forgot about something which Zdeněk is gonna propose. Second way how to murder poker planning, enabling cheating. I think everybody of you get into situation that you are in a poker planning session in front of customer, and you had to estimate something which you didn't know how much complicated it's going to be. So you were just saying, okay, Tomáš, show me the number. You know, and then somebody knew that Tomáš is going to say 5 and so on. So practically we will as well lose the potential good discussion by cheating and not getting into confrontation into the discussion. Third way how to murder the poker planning is stopping the discussion. I got several times into situations that we had really some interesting discussion, which actually led into finding that our product owner didn't specify the requirements very well, and there had to be some more time spending with the requirements. But instead of this, when we had a really long discussion about the numbers and why it is so complicated or why it is so easy, just product owner or some manager said, hey, stop, let's meet in the middle, another story. Again, poker planning is not about getting the number. Poker planning is about understanding the requirement, that all the team understand what is necessary to run, because the manager or the senior developer are not going to be the one who are going to implement it. You are. So never ever get into situation that some manager or anybody will let you stop the discussion. So just to underline or highlight what Tomáš was saying, you are not only getting more accurate numbers, but you are getting some new information what needs to be defined, because it will be observable that is necessary to be still defined, the story. Some misunderstandings will be reduced. Out of scope reminder, new user story are usually revealed with every poker planning session. You will find out that in the backlog there was nothing in it. So, and give less space to assertive people. Third commandment: you shall not take the stand-up name in vain. That means that stand-up should be really an informative 15-minute meeting. And my opinion is that many mid-sized teams are not able to make the 15 minutes. Why? Because they are discussing something which is not part of the stand-up. I don't know why my remote is not working. And that's because they are discussing with the product owner the requirements, which should be discussed after the stand-up. This should be an informative meeting, effective informative meeting to the others what you are doing, and so on. If you're not able to do it within 15 minutes, just one proposal, do it on one leg. If you'll be doing it on one leg, for sure you will. So fourth commandment: you shall have no other gods before product owner. I think that you remember the old good Waterfall days when you were developing some feature and some project, and just at the very end you were showing to the customer. There are a lot of dissatisfaction by the customer, a lot of fixing phase, and a lot of defects. So by adopting some agile methodologies, we are starting showing the demo to our customers, because we know the Humphreys law, and Humphreys law says that user doesn't know what he or she wants until she or he really sees it. I'm just only saying that the product owner, the decision maker, the one single point of contact should not be the only person who will attend the reviews, because even the product owner can do the mistakes. Even he or she could understand it bad from the management or from the end users. So what I suggest is that not only product owner, but also stakeholders, I mean those who are paying for this application, some of his bosses or her bosses should attend from time to time, as well as end users. If you are doing application for some patients organization, maybe make sure that some of the patients who will be using the applications from time to time sees the application and gives you feedback. And maybe even some other product owners of other teams. If you are doing application which is highly linked to some other, I don't know, sub-projects, should attend the meeting to give you feedback. Fifth commandment, remember the retrospective day to keep it holy. Retrospectives are important because of sharing the feedback and enabling the tension to go out and to understand what is necessary to be improved. But there are three mistakes which are usually done during retrospective. First, that some product owner, scrum master, whoever, the manager says, okay, does anybody have anything for retrospective? I don't know if you heard it someday. I'm hearing it many times. And this is just not leading to any kind of discussion. This is just leading to, okay, maybe Tomáš, Mila, or I don't know, Jirka will have one point, the biggest point which they want to share, because this is the biggest pain which they're having. But it will never lead to some discussion which I don't know, gives us the helicopter view, some brand new ideas which are not painful but would help us a lot. The second one is just to start the discussion with retrospective time, like, okay, so let's discuss, let's have a brainstorming. This is again not leading to some big discussion, or just the third mistake is to skipping it at all. So my suggestion to do retrospectives better are to have physical retrospectives over tools. Try, even if you have distributed teams, to collocate at least from time to time to be together. Second would be to experiment with different formats. For instance, I have a good practice with 6-head retrospectives, which is a brainstorming one. This is a good for some milestone retrospective for the big scope. But for the small scopes, it is good to have some action points format, like start, stop, continue, and make sure that for those which needs action points, you require enough time, not to do it within a half an hour and stopping the discussions, but have, I don't know, 1.5 or 2 hour sessions. Third point is do not criticize. It is usually a retrospective is a brainstorming session. You didn't have enough time to prepare it. Shoot the ideas and do not criticize each other. Fourth, store your inputs and check if they were done. This is, I think, the most important point, and in most cases not done. You have nice retrospective session, many good ideas, and just right the minute after the retrospective, everybody forgets what we agreed on, and nobody does it. Nobody tracks it, and nothing changed. So if you want to change, really track it in Trello, in Excel sheet, and at the beginning of next retrospective, just take what was done, how we improved. You will even feel better that you did something since last retrospective. And I also give every time example, select the hero of the sprint. I mean, it is every time good to say that somebody did something good. So it doesn't matter if you are pack of gremlins and select the gremlin of the sprint like Mojžíš or Tomáš here, or if you are Chuck Norris, you are like group of Chuck Norrises and select the Chuck Norris of a sprint. Sixth commandment is, product owner shall not commit adultery with other priorities. I mean that he should not cheat with other projects. What is the usual case is that, okay, product owner is somebody who is very important. He is the business or product vision owner. He knows all the business needs from stakeholders. He's focusing on users, and he knows everything about the project. But what happens if this product owner, as a typical manager, is busy? If he is busy, he is a big bottleneck for every project, which is very hard to show to the customer at the very end. Because if you have got busy product owner for half a year project, and then you are delayed at the very end, it is very hard to say, okay, but every sprint we were waiting for some answers, and this waiting incrementally make a delay, which at the end is bigger than than everybody expected. So better product owner can lead to increase the risk of misunderstandings, because if you don't have anybody to ask, okay, this requirement I understand it this way, should the button be blue or should it be red? It is of course a very simple example. If it is increasing the risk of misunderstandings, it pushes team to assume. There is nothing worse in software development than start to assuming. It also leads to slow down or stop the progress. Of course, if you don't have, for instance, with Tomáš, we had a project for some Texas and some birds, because I don't want to name the project. We had some product owner from Russia which was not able to answer questions for 2 weeks. This is not slowing you down, this is stopping you. And we actually had to stop the project until this person was able to answer our questions. And all in all, it increased, of course, the efforts, which, again, as I said, at the end, the customer would not see. So it is good to point on the retrospective that this is something which needs to be done differently. Otherwise, it will have the cost effect. And all in all, also, it increased the tension in the project. I think all of us wants to go to work and to work with people we like. And if we are angry with our product owners, it is making the tension which is not necessary, I think. Seventh commandment.
Sorry. So what do you propose to do?
I propose to do a retrospective with the product owner and tell him or her how it is important and which kind of impact it has. And in case this is not helping, I would talk to a project manager, which needs to talk to his boss that this needs to be changed. Otherwise, there are costs which the customer is going to pay. And I think that whenever the discussion comes to cost, everybody starts reacting. Okay, seventh commandment. Distributed team shall not covet what have the collocated ones. I mean, to transfer the original 10 commandments from law to what I wanted sometimes sound very complicated, and I know that it is pretty complicated. But I meant that you should not be jealous from what the collocated one has. Collocated teams are, according to Agile Manifesto, the only possible solutions for having Agile teams. Everybody should be together to work in ideal case. But I think that nowadays it is not a must. I think that you can have collocated teams which are sitting next to each other, but still not communicating with each other because not doing Agile right. As well as you can have distributed teams with good relationship over 7 different locations and with very good communication level. So what I really think is that it just focus more on doing Agile right within your project, no matter on geographical location. And also it is supported by some latest Agile surveys that approximately 80–60% of respondents has at least some distributed teams or practical example, and 51% of respondents are using cooperation with somebody like Seeing Group, so with some outsourced source. So it's proven that it is being done, and based also on the satisfaction survey, it is proven that it is working. 8th commandment. Honor your Agile father and lean mother. That's something what I would like to aim for company as such. If you have got Agile projects within some corporate type of company, maybe you can be as agile as good as possible. You can be also trying to do everything right according to book, and still you will not be agile, and something is not going to work. Actually, according to latest survey again, it shows that these are the top reasons why agile is not working in their projects. And you can see that company philosophy and agile culture, lack of management support, generalization, organization resistance to change. So 3 out of top 5 are because of some organizational reasons. Which means that maybe companies itself and their top management should think about to be agile if they want to have agile projects. Just because I know for some companies in corporate type, big ones, it is hard not to have process and so on. But just an idea what they can think about. Yeah, just what they can think about is how much their company culture supports agile, how much agile they are within management, and how much within the company they embrace the communication, transparency, and continuous improvement. Because I think that if they will do what we just started to do within our management is they can try to have regular management retrospectives on company level as well as in the management as a team. They can have and their retrospective points can be their backlog, so they can have something which they can work on. They can plan some backlog sprints as a backlog points into a sprint, and sprint can be their time until next retrospective, for instance, 1 month. And do a small review on coordination meetings where people will show what was done. For instance, we can present that we are preparing some ethical codex, or we are preparing how to connect branches via some video. So there is every time some points which you can do. And what is typical for management is that there are, again, some good ideas, but there is a long time to do them. If you will have, let's say, sprint behavior, you will commit every time to some goal, and you can make things a little bit faster. And the most important one, on many management meetings, there are long talks between one and one, and they are very long and very ineffective. And if you will implement the stand-up behavior within the management, it is much effective discussion after that. 9th commandment: you shall not make agile idolatry. So not to make any agile is not God. Agile is not isn't ideal. So my only and very short message is that do not think to do agile according to books. Every project is specific, and even if you one day, for instance, will be a Scrum Master on your project, and you will take another project, do not think to take all the good principles from the very good one which you had and to take it to another one. The another one will have different people, and you need to tailor-made it just according to what the team needs. 10th and very last commandment is something which I would like you to think about, because estimates is a big topic, and you all are from time to time pushed from us, our sides, to do estimates. So my 10th commandment is you shall not bear false estimates against your team or against your customer. I think you know the typical chaos survey, which says how projects used to be successful. So approximately 75% failed or very late, according to the estimates. Second image is that this is something from Steve McConnell book, and this shows on one project of typical size how much estimates were different from the reality. So you can see here, for instance, you have 50 points, and it 50 was estimated and 50 was done. But here, for instance, 7 was estimated and 200 was the reality. So you can see that none of them was done quicker than the ideal curve. Most of them was delayed, and this is how much. So question is, why do not estimate work, or do we really need estimates? Estimates do not work because they are just personal. They are just ideas, and the ideas can be psychologically. They've got psychological aspects. One aspect is that if you are doing estimates for a new project, which is very very important to us, we need to win it. Then you tend to be very aggressive and try to lower down the estimates to win the project, as well as if you know that this is the project where you will get your salary better or not based on if it will be done on time, you will try to be conservative and try to make the estimates lower. Second reason is uh, Parkinson's law. Works expense so as to fill the time available for its completion. So if you will estimate 200 man days, you will do it in 200 man days, because you will have very slow or normal speed during the whole time of the project, and at the very end, everything will be done very 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 quick. So if I will tell you, hey, you need to do it in 8 days, otherwise you will be fired. You will do it in 8 days. That's just the law. And third is something which is called accidental complication, because every task which you'll be estimating has got some essential complication. For instance, if you have got, you need to implement taxes. Tax is generally something which has got some essential complication to understanding or just to implement the functionality for taxes. An accidental complication is something which comes out of the organizational structure. For instance, how much it is complicated to give us the test environment, how many processes through Ben and the others we need to go. And the second one, how programs are written. We are all people and we do mistakes. So if you will do estimation and you should estimate it correctly, you need to just combine the essential complication and the accidental complication, which you can never estimate. So I have got three conclusions. Conclusion number one is that accidental complication actually dominates the cost of the feature. So if you will right now, for instance, estimate login, you have got one estimation for login as a functionality, and second, which is much higher for all the accidental complication. Second is following best practices by doing poker playing and so on, which still makes sense, is just only reducing the accidental complications. So it's only highlighting why it is important to have this discussion to reduce the misunderstandings and everything like that. And conclusion number three is spending too much time with estimation can be nearly labeled as a waste, because you cannot, even if you will do it right, you will very likely not doing it correctly. So what are the possible solutions? Either, and this is a typical case in many companies, you are trying to measure and improve your accidental complication. This is called buffer, or if you're doing, for instance, you ask Tomáš for estimation, you have got some coefficients, and you are just multiplying his estimates by something which is actually to try to measure the accidental complication or how much he underestimated it. Or you can go with no estimates approach. And I, of course, do not have time to go through no estimates approach in general, but I will just try to give you a sneak peek. There's a very, very nice book about no estimates, which is trying to reveal that you should try to reduce estimation as such to very, very, very minimum. What you will after some time find with your team is the necessary minimum. For instance, the poker planning on kickoff meeting for 1 hour is the only thing which we should do. At some teams which are running for years, they are actually not doing estimation at all. And on the other hand, you should focus on slicing the stories as small as possible. And the only estimation which they are doing is just to mark it as a small, medium, big, nothing big, nothing else, just a t-shirt size estimation. And the other things which you should focus is value-focused development. You should try to plan only the very important features on the beginning and try to count how many stories you can deliver every sprint. And after some amount of sprints, 3 or 5, you will see, okay, we have got average of delivering 4. And after 3 sprints, you can give to your customers a rough estimate that we will be done around 7 sprints because we have got this average. But spending 1 week of analysis and doing proper estimation to customer will never give you proper numbers, so it is a waste of time. It's a waste of 1 week of the whole team, which is a cost itself as well. So this was the 10 commandments of agile development. I don't know if you have any questions to it, or just any other ideas which I can share with the people in Drupal business days. Some typical problems which you observe.
Into the list of issues with the accidental complexity.
Complication.
Yeah, or complication. Tech debt.
Technical debt.
Listed there because that's one of the bigger problems.
Exactly. That's true. Any other ideas what you observed? If not, then thank you for your question. I don't know if somebody else has got some questions. Okay, so have a nice time and thank you for listening.
Ale nie, no, actually.
Není.